Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gemma's Window. If you have followed the calculations in the calculation box below and discovered that you are a power year number 3, then you are at the right place. Today's reading is for our power year number 3s in the month of February 2020. So threes, if you are a power year number 3, that makes the month of February the month of 5. So this is going to be an interesting read for us because these are two numbers that sort of go together but don't go together. As I'm shuffling cards here, getting ready. And if you're in a power year number 3, it's meant to be a more restful year for you. It's meant to be lighter, a little bit more fun. It's preparing you for the big year of 4 that you will be in for 2021. But another thing about 3 is that it represents communications. That means you may have very good communication skills in the year of 3 or the lack of. It represents the arts. And if you're a theater person, it may be a wonderful year for you, or any kind of artist, or it may bring challenges. It may even bring drama in the way of relationships. You may bring drama to a situation, or someone else may bring it to you. 3, again, as I mentioned, is about communication. So there might be a lot of issues that arise in this year where you have to figure out, how do I want to approach this? How do I want to come off in this? What am I going to do? Or am I going to completely avoid it at all costs? You may be writing something and trying to get it out there. You may be deciding to start therapy or major in therapy or take courses in therapy. Now, for the month of 5 in February, 5 is actually there's really one word that describes 5, and that would be changes. Any kind of change can arise. It can be one that you choose. It can be one that falls upon you. Also, what comes to mind, 5 is also a lot about communications. So there is that in common. There's the lightness, supposedly, of the two numbers in common. There's the communication issue in common, where big talks, big negotiations, big chats of some sort may come up this month for you. I'll explain more as we go along about the month of 5, because let's see how it relates to you in the cards that we pull. Make it a little bit more interesting, hopefully, for you. So let's start with our business. Let's take a look at 3s who have a job. Then we'll take a look at 3s who don't. Then we'll move on to love. And then we're going to move on to any question that you have. All right, I've been shuffling for a long time. Let's take a look at our 3s who are employed. Okay, 3s, you have nice, very nice cards here. You have a victorious card, so I feel like February or the end of January was or is going to be a very good month for you to be rewarded or start seeing the fruits of your labors at the workplace. I think what is interesting is what's happening, boom, in the here and now. So that's going to be in February, is that there are changes upon you. This is my card that represents, you don't know exactly where you're going, but you know you're going someplace different, or you know that something's changing, but you're not quite sure what it's going to be. So that there might indeed be a change, a brewing, but it may not be the one that you wanted, or it may be the one that you wanted coming into being. Oh, also another thing that this can mean is a relocation of some kind. It can mean that they take you off of one project, you go on another. It could mean that you change offices. It could mean any kind of movement, whether it's physical movement, mental movement, relationship movement, whatever it is. There looks like there is definitely movement in the month of February when it comes to your job. Now, ultimately coming into being is a more artistic project or creative project or a creative opportunity. And even if that's another job that's going to be offered to you from a completely different place, there's a lot of movement and change. And you may have thought, gosh, I thought I was all set. I thought I got to where I wanted to go. And yet there's more upheaval coming your way. And it makes sense. Now, just because I'm saying these words and they sound like a big deal, sometimes it's really not. Sometimes it's just an annoyance and something small. But as I tell my clients, for me to be able to see it and recognize it, you got to hit me over the head. And maybe, the universe delivers things in a big way so that I don't miss it and that I notice it for you. But it doesn't have to be an earth-shattering situation. I just definitely feel in the cards that if you have a job, or if maybe you're waiting for a response from somebody else, or it just comes out of the blue, I do feel like there's upheaval and movement that you weren't necessarily expecting, or you were expecting and it ends up differently than what you thought it was going to be. That said, sometimes I like to stop talking because I don't want to confuse you more. It's hard to do a general reading. It's hard for you to hear it and try to apply it to your situation. So I'm going to leave that at that. And I'm going to shuffle these cards now, threes. And I'm going to take a look at reading for those of you who are looking for work. Now, I just pulled an excellent card for this, and it's the new relationship card. And that means it's the new job, and it's coming into fruition in February. So I feel you're coming from a place of real discontentment. That can be a place that you're working at, or it can just be from where you're coming from. Maybe you haven't worked in months and you've been applying all over the place and don't know why you're not hearing. Well, according to this, you are going to be hearing, and then what will follow is a very big decision. That could be anything. That could be, it's not exactly the job you wanted. It could be a bigger job than you expected and you're not sure if you could do it. It could be that you accepted a job someplace else, you just started your first week, and now the other job came in and it sounds so enticing what to do. This is a conundrum for the month of 5, because the month of 5 for you is all about change, whether you choose it or whether the universe chooses it. It's all about change, and I'm not getting an answer to, well, which way are you going to go? I'm not getting that for the month of February. It comes up and you're choosing in the month of February. Now, let's see. In the month of March, you're going to be in the month of 6. Just a little hint with that in mind. One of the choosing points, if I'm stating that correctly, or one of the ways to determine which way to go or which opportunity to take when you're dealing with the number 6, like you will be in March, is how much do I want to give? How much do I want to be there? How much are they expecting from me? Where am I coming from? Am I coming from that I graduated from college and I'm on the beginning of an adventure and I'm eager beaver? Or am I coming from a place of, I've been trying to take care of kids in a house for how long by myself, and I don't want to work that hard anymore. I don't want to have to work nights. I don't want to have to work weekends. So if I can give you a hint according to numbers and where you are, that's the kind of thing you're going to be thinking in March. along those lines of what do I really want and where am I, what's my past about and what am I in the mood for? Okay, threes, let's move on to if you are in a relationship and you are in the year of 3. Month of 5, year of 3. So if you're in a relationship, okay, I am here. I'm just analyzing what I have here. Wow. What the heck is this about? 1 second, every threes. I feel like someone who's important to you is going to announce or make a huge change. And I feel like they think they're bringing good news to you in some way. And I feel like they're going to say, I gave up. I had to give up this, this, and this. Now you have to give up this, this, and this for me. I did it for you. Now you do it for me. Or else, maybe it's even just a way of life. Maybe, look, I worked from home for a year, but now I've gotten an opportunity and I got to get back on the road again. And that's what I'd like to do. And you can support me in it, because the outcome here I have for you threes is that there is change that doesn't suit you. You feel left out, left behind, or some kind of negativity, whereas maybe something good, maybe you feel like your partner's saying, well, why can't you be happy for me? And you're saying, but you didn't even really ask me. We didn't even really discuss this. Now, I want to suggest to you that the more I try to come up with examples, the more confused I can make the listener. So I suggest is that if you have to pause this, is to think exactly about your situation. And if this doesn't apply, or it's in reverse, and you say, this is what's happening, but it's happening in reverse in my home, you can tweak my words to your situation. I suggest don't change the outcome of it. Is that somehow, some way, somebody is left in the relationship feeling like, whoa, you just went and did that without me. And that's where I have you left, because you're in this month of 5. And that's what it's about. It's about ups and downs and all around. And when you get into that month of 6 in March, it's about, okay, I can or I cannot live with this. That's the decision-making month, but not so much this month, okay? It looks to me that you are, I'm so sorry. I lost my train of thought, but it looks to me as though somebody else is going to be making some kind of decision that affects you. Now, moving on to our threes who are looking for love. Let's take a look at what we have in this month of 5. Okay, yes, that's right. There is that communication theme. We talked about that, the communication theme. So there might be, and you know what? Across the board here in all of your cards, that's coming up. That you maybe have been told one thing, and yet something else is happening. So if you are looking for a relationship, threes, in this month of 5, it looks to me like you may be wanting to go back to something that you had. It may be an actual person. It may be an actual type of relationship that you had, or understanding that you've had with someone else. Or maybe you just want to see people for a while, because you haven't been free for a long time. And I feel like that's where I find you. I feel like you don't want to give it all away this month, in the month of 5, that you want to wait and see how someone communicates to you, and are they going to make the first move towards you? I have a lot of clients who are women who do not want to pursue a male or ask him out. They want to be the one who's pursued. So is that what I find you here holding out for? Or do I have you holding out for, well, if this person isn't going to propose, then I'm moving on and I'm going to see other people? Because you do have coming into being the Three of Cups, and that can be the seeing other people situation, or the dating situation. That's where I'm getting this from. But there's been something that's a long time coming, or a long time brewing in you, where you feel the safest, I think, not putting all your eggs in one basket for this month of February. Now, March is the most romantic month out of your whole year when you're in that month of 6. So you may indeed decide to commit in that month of March. But for now, it looks to me like you are keeping your options open, or you're not going to offer too much until you really know where you stand in a situation. Again, I'm so sorry, you guys. Just try to tweak to your circumstance. Now, lastly, we're going to take a look at what's the best that we can expect for any question that you have, threes. So you might be wanting to ask again about work. You might want to ask about love again, and you go right ahead. You can. Just take the words that I give, tweak it to your situation, but don't change the outcome. You might be asking about health. You might be asking about finances. You might be asking about getting into a certain program or school. Let's take a look. Okay, what's the best that we can expect? What's the best outcome that we can expect for our threes? Okay, threes. You have a very nice card in the here and now, and it's the emotion around it that's concerning me, because the card that I have is the second chance card. It's the second chance. It could be the second chance at life. It could be the second chance at love. It could be the second chance that a boss is giving you, or or you wanted a particular house, somebody bought it before you, it's back on the market, and you get another chance. There's another chance at some kind of greatness, something that you wanted. And I don't know if you're going to see it or recognize it or do it or take it, because where you're coming from is a total sense of disillusionment about something. You might be closed off to it now. Well, if it didn't work before, it's not going to work now. Or I'm not going back to that. I feel like the universe is giving you a hint of, well, maybe this can work after all. And you might have a bad taste in your mouth and just not want to take another chance on whatever it is. Now, I just want to touch this card, because what's coming into being is a sense of dissatisfaction, where I have this card in my deck. My Ace of Wands is about you've got every opportunity in the world, but you to do or have something, or more than one thing, and you're still unhappy because you can't really see the potential. And I feel like the message here is that with all the fluctuation that could be happening in February, in this month of 5 for you, sometimes good things come in small packages, or sometimes you don't recognize what could really blossom for you because you're tainted in some way. And that's what I have here for you, is that to try to recognize the blessings in disguise. They may or may not be in disguise, but there is one, at least one, that you're not sure of. And I feel like I'm here to give you the message that it is a good thing, so open your eyes to it. Well, thank you so much, threes, and thank you for joining Gemma's Window. If you'd like to know more about me, please jump onto my website at gemmaswindow@gmail.com. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you. Thanks so much, and I'll see you threes next month in March for your month of 6. Bye for now.